Trump wants Greenland. Denmark says no. At Davos, Trump ruled out force and tried to cool the temperature, but the demand stayed on the table. He sold it as security, missile defense, and keeping Russia and China out. And under Greenland's waters, the USGS estimates roughly 16.7 billion barrels of undiscovered oil and about 178 trillion cubic feet of gas undiscovered, technically recoverable. This is why Greenland is back. Security cover, resource leverage, and an Arctic that keeps opening. Greenland sits between North America and Europe, stretched across the top of the Atlantic like a gate. Over 2.16 million square kilometers, with more than 80% covered by ice. Massive territory, tiny settlement footprint. Greenland stays fixed. The world shifts. Supply chains tighten. Ice windows widen. Range matters more, and the value of the map rises. The security argument has a physical anchor. Pitufik Space Base in northwest Greenland, renamed in 2023. Missile warning, space surveillance, high north runway, and infrastructure. In the Arctic, distance turns into time. Time turns into control. That's why Greenland never disappears from serious planning. Now the choke point logic. The GIUK gap, Greenland, Iceland, United Kingdom, sits on the route between the open Atlantic and the northern seas. Submarines move through this geometry. Reinforcements move through this geometry. It's the North Atlantic's working corridor, and Greenland holds one end of it. Energy is the first number stack that changes the tone. USGS estimates for the East Greenland Rift Basins 8.9 billion barrels of oil, 86.2 trillion cubic feet of gas, plus natural gas liquids. USGS estimates for the West Greenland East Canada province 7.8 billion barrels of oil, 91.9 trillion cubic feet of gas, plus natural gas liquids. These figures are undiscovered, technically recoverable estimates. In geopolitics, numbers like this trigger positioning long before drilling begins. Then come the minerals. The European Commission states Greenland has 25 of the EU's 34 critical raw materials, inputs modern industry fights over. That connects Greenland to batteries, magnets, electronics, defense tech, and energy infrastructure. It also explains why security and minerals keep showing up in the same strategy conversation. Climate turns strategy into logistics. Arctic summer sea ice keeps shrinking. NIDC tracks the September minimum and shows a decline of about 12.5% per decade relative to the 1981-2010 average. Less ice means longer seasons for navigation, surveying, and operations. More access days create more attempts. More attempts create more presence. Presence becomes policy. Global trade already runs through bottlenecks. The Suez Canal is one of the biggest, often cited at about 12% of world trade and about 30% of global container volume, with over $1 trillion in goods moving through it annually. When a choke point stutters, ships reroute, prices jump, and supply chains shake. That's why every potential alternative route gets studied, even when it's harsh, seasonal, and risky. The Northwest Passage is still a difficult route, but the direction is measurable. The Scott Polar Research Institute records complete transits at 41 in 2023 and 38 in 2024. That's small for global trade. It's big for strategy, because it proves the route gets used repeatedly whenever conditions allow. Look at the west side of the map and the names start sounding like infrastructure. Davis Strait, Baffin Bay, Nares Strait. These funnels shape movement between the Atlantic and the high Arctic. Multiple routes, multiple straits, multiple ways to project presence. Greenland becomes a switchboard, not a backdrop. Access decides everything. Crews, cargo, emergency response, investment timelines. Greenland's airport upgrades include a 2,200-meter runway in Nuuk and a 2,200-meter runway in Ilosit, plus terminals and towers. The plan is simple: more direct connectivity, a stronger main hub, and fewer bottlenecks. Runways decide access. Access decides investment, cargo, emergencies, and control. Infrastructure attracts competition. In 2019, a Chinese state-owned company withdrew its bid for Greenland airport projects after strategic concerns surged. Analysts cited contract values around 3.6 billion Danish kroner, roughly 480 million euros, about $560 million. That's the pattern. Build access, shape influence, lock in leverage. The Arctic is slow, but the moves are long. Greenland's population is about 56,699, tiny for a territory this huge. The economy leans hard on fishing, reported around 90% of exports. Mining potential is real, but Arctic projects collide with cost, labor limits, permits, and brutal logistics. Big powers still want early positioning because timing matters more than headlines. Greenland sits at the collision point of 5 forces: USGS-scale oil and gas potential, EU-level critical minerals, shrinking ice barriers, North Atlantic transit geometry, and the access layer: runways, sensors, ports. That's why Greenland keeps coming back. Every year, the Arctic gets easier to reach and harder to ignore. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more cargo routes, geopolitical places, and the numbers that move the world. More similar videos are on screen, and comment a place or topic you want next.